Good afternoon. My name is Caleb Sheely, and my research is going to focus on a critical imperative, decolonizing the U.S. history curriculum. So, my goal is to move beyond the single dominant story of national progress. We need to integrate the complex and full perspectives of marginalized groups, especially those of African American descent, so that we can get a legitimate historical truth. So, this project is about building real equity and historical consciousness in our classrooms. So, our work is grounded in theory, critical race theory, which confirms that curriculum isn't neutral, it reinforces racialized power. This evidence proves we must misgenerate counter narratives to challenge the dominant history. And then tribal critical race theory shows that simple inclusion is just tokenism. So to be effective, we must center sovereignty and integrate indigenous ways of knowing as valid knowledge. So just moving beyond those mere cultural artifacts. This research forced me to reflect on how history is built. So, historically, African American teachers use literature for identity production and resistance, proving the curriculum is a contested site. We must also challenge the source of historical authority. Decolonization requires disrupting the epistemic structure, and that disprioritizes Western knowledge. This key is to addressing the white savior dynamic and fully integrating non Western knowledge into our units. For this new curriculum to succeed, we must prepare the teachers who deliver it. So this is kind of core to my application plan. We'll use the culture responsive teaching model to transform teachers into basically agents of change. Training will focus on building sociocultural consciousness and equipping them with counter narratives. So, for example, when teaching Constitution, we'll analyze the compromises around slavery through the lens of interest. Um, and then who benefited from the deal to challenge the simple founding ideal story. So this rigorous training is essential for achieving true equity. And then, in conclusion, decolonizing the U.S. history curriculum is a project in curriculum fairness. It requires theoretical rigor, historical consciousness, and developing teacher agency to manage complex conversations. So, this research is basically giving us the clear blueprint to move U.S. history toward a more accurate and equitable representation of our nation's past. And thank you.